Hello Internet. So I noticed a lot of people complaining that Live Sampler doesn't include any time stretching features. Simpler has it, even Impulse has it. Live's built on its time stretching algorithms, right? So why no grainy warbly fun in their flagship sample instrument? Well, there are a few technical reasons as to why they aren't implemented, reasons we won't go into here. Instead, I'll show you how to use a trick with Sampler's modulation functions to get some of the same effects. So first, let's drop a sampler device onto this MIDI track. Then let's drop an audio file onto the sampler. This is just a small guitar pattern I recorded earlier. Now, you'll notice as I play this back at different pitches, the speed will also change. So here's the original speed. Then pitch it an octave higher. Then an octave lower. Now this can be cool for some interesting rhythmic stuff, but what we want to do is to allow the speed and the pitch to be independent. So the first thing we do is we set a loop region. Now this is what is called the grain, and this is the grain size. So let's make quite a small grain. Now, the file is looping backwards and forwards over the loop region. So what we want to do is we want to make it scan across the audio file. So we'll go over to the modulation section, turn on LFO2, change it to an upward ramp, put the frequency down to the bottom, and then route it to loop start, turn it up to 100%. Now you can see that we are scanning slowly across the waveform. Each loop will be the duration of this loop region. But what we're hearing is a lot of clicks. So what we want to do is we want to turn up the crossfade. This will slowly fade in and fade out the loop over the course of its duration. This is what in granular synthesis is called windowing. So there we go, nice and smooth. Now if I play this at different pitches, let's play two together, you'll notice that they're in sync. Now the size of the loop greatly affects the sound. So as we go smaller, the actual looping affects the pitch. And if we go slower, we get this kind of cool, echoey effect. So that's pretty much it. I mean, a few other things that we can do is we can go over to the modulation section again, turn on LFO3, change it to a noise waveform, and then assign it to the LFO2 amount. Just give it a small bit. This will just randomize the playback head a little bit. Another thing I like to do is to use LFO1 with another noise waveform to just affect the panning a little bit. Another thing we'll notice if we're using percussive samples, at the transient we'll get quite a harsh, noisy sound. This is because the transient will be repeated over and over again, making it very obvious and a bit painful. So what I like to do to cover that up a little bit is just to put on a little bit of chorus. Also, if we group all of this and then assign the frequency to a macro, we can have easy control over the speed of the playback. So that's almost the same speed as the original sample. Another thing you'll notice is that if you change the duration of the region, the smaller the region, the longer it takes to loop over it. So if we get a really small region and a really small grain size, we get these really long drony effects. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, of course we can add filters, we can mess with the ADSR, assign more macros, and we've got a nice little granular synthesizer. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, I should be doing a few more of these on Ableton, Max for Live, Max MSP, all those good things. If you'd like to find out more about what I do, go to www.nathanharmer.com, and please like, subscribe, whatever it is you guys do on YouTube. Have a good one.